Hello everybody, Savat here. I'm back from the Fulmination server with another Eve Echoes video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the big brother to the Apocalypse, the Apocalypse Striker. Now, I do have to clarify again, this is the test server. When these ships do come available, they may be nothing like they are now. Any modules or fittings that you see here are subject to change and could be different upon release. So take everything that you see here with a grain of salt. That being said, if you do like my content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to be notified when I release new content. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the Apocalypse Striker is the Tier 10 Amar ship. This ship is, again, like I said before, the big brother to the Apocalypse. It is the end game, end all, be all, just wow of a ship. The epitome of the Amar. So this ship was actually designed to take out capital ships, and a lack of having capital ships, it can provide an insane amount of damage, and it is just all around so much better than the Apocalypse. I thought the Apocalypse was my favorite ship. This guy is taking the cake now. I am super excited about this ship, and I can't wait to show you guys what it does, which we're going to do right now. So for the fittings here, I have 8 of the Corpus C-type large beam lasers. I'm bringing this fit is basically going to be the same fit as I had on the Apocalypse with some minor changes. Now, in the middle slots here, we have the large group armor reppers. I have 2 of them in here. They're just for fixing up any ancillary damage that might be taken. Hopefully we won't be taking any, but if we do, we have some of those to do that. I actually do have 2 Haley target painters in here, both the meta level 8 ones. This ship's optimal range is going to be about 117 km, 113, I apologize. And within that optimal range, these target painters can actually hit at 50% effectiveness, so having 2 makes them work like 1. So this is actually works out to 126 km, which is pretty good. My hood ornaments, I have 2 of the Mark 9 Ogres. They're kind of just in there for looks right now. They're not even meant to do anything. If a ship does get close up on us that's a frigate or anything like that, being the large drones, they're not going to be able to hit it either. So they would do absolutely nothing in pretty much any case. So they're just kind of there to hang out with me and keep me company while I shoot people. And you will see that's exactly what they do. Alright, in my low slots, I have the same thing here. I have the GIST C-type large micro warp drive. We have 4 of the Eagle tracking computers. These tracking computers are what's giving us our range. And by having 4 of these on here, I can pretty much cycle through them and keep that range. Okay, I have 1 Centum C-type heatsink. This is giving us a pretty beefy damage bonus, but this ship already has a pretty beefy damage. Look at that. 2,334.8 DPS. That's insane. That is utterly insane. So this ship, if you're wanting to know why it has such a high DPS there, this ship has a special mode called Siege Mode, and right now we're actually seeing the damage with it in Siege Mode. For the rigs, I actually have 3 semiconductor memory cell 4s on here, increasing its power grid by 75% total. I'm using a laser collision accelerator 4. I am using a second laser collision accelerator 4 because we want this ship to do as much damage as possible. And we have 1 laser burst aerator 4, which is going to give the activation time. We're all about seeing those large chunky numbers on this ship. So we wanted to have more damage over the fire rate. Alright, so that's where we're sitting at here. Let's take a look a little bit deeper at this ship that we didn't do with the Apocalypse. So the defense on this ship is running at a total of 141,445. Its EM resistance on the shield is 0, thermal is 20%, kinetic is 40%, and explosive is 55%. Pretty basic. The total of its defense is 30,828 and shield hit points. In armor, it has 44,464 hit points with an EM resistance of 50, thermal of 35, kinetic of 25, and explosive of 20. And lastly, it has 36,693 in structure hit points with a 33% resistance across the board. The capacitor on the ship does last 22 minutes in its current setup, and that is with a micro warp drive and eliminating 25% of the top of the cap there. So this ship is extremely cap stable comparatively to the Apocalypse. That has to do with upgrading the rigs to the level 4 rigs. That was a huge boost. And also this ship is another tier higher, giving it more altogether. Another thing you can see here, the power grid on this ship is massive. The power grid here is a total of 20,958, giving you a ton of room to do all sorts of crazy stuff with this thing. So just this range fit may not be the best thing for this ship, but that's how we're going to use it, and I'm going to show you some crazy stuff here in just a moment. Alright, let's go ahead and undock. Let's do a regular undock. So like I said, I docked up in siege mode. Siege mode increases the ship's damage by 100%, giving us that crazy number. Now, why a ship is in siege mode, it does have a lot of negatives. This is this button over here in the right above my guns. If I turn that off, we're back in a normal mode. Normal mode, this ship is doing a whopping 1,593 DPS. That's pretty insane if you consider it's at 113 km. That's before any of those are activated. This ship is insane. When we activate the micro warp drive, our navigation is sitting at 985.08. Now, a couple of things I'm going to show you here. This is probably broken, so just take this with a grain of salt. And so you see how we have to do the jump, and naturally this ship here, when we go back to navigation, its warp preparation time is 11.3 seconds. Well, check this out. When you activate siege mode, your ship's signal radius is increased by 100%, speed is reduced by 99%, damage increased by 100, battery tracking speed reduced by 95%, you're not tracking anything, missile explosion speed decreased by 90%, and missile explosion radius is increased by 1,000%. A whole lot of negatives, but what we're looking at is that 99% ship speed reduction. Have a look. If we hit start on our warp here, we align to warp. And off we go.
Warp drive active.
And so we still had to align to warp there. It would have been a whole lot longer. I'll show you some more. I'll give you more examples of that later, so I'm pretty sure that this is going to be fixed. Whenever the ship is already aligned, it'll warp off almost instantly because of that 99% reduction in siege mode. That ended up being a bad showcase of that. Sorry about that. Alright, so siege mode is basically not increasing our fire rate, but it is increasing everything. Now, everything under the sun is going to be able to hit us, but that's kind of the purpose of this long-range shit. We don't want to be in range of anything. Alright, so first things first, we're going to make sure siege mode is off. And we are going to go to the cosmic anomaly here. We're going to warp in at 100. This is just insane. I can't wait to show you guys this.
Warp drive active.
Alright. So here we are. We're landing out here. We're sitting. Let's get a little further back. Turn around. Align ourselves with our warp gate. We're going to activate our micro warp drive just to put a little bit of distance between us and where they're spawning. We want to be out at a pretty good range and have everybody a little over 100. Alright, this should give us a good point. We're going to go ahead and go into siege mode here. Could have locked everybody up earlier, but kind of showcases that this battleship also has a pretty decent lock speed. 13,000 points of damage to that Brutix. 11,000 damage to that Brutix. At 116 km away. Oh, hold on. Let's activate the damage. Pop. This thing is sitting at 2,923 DPS. Just popping things left and right. $9,440 on that Vexor. This is insane. 9,423. Alright, we are going to exit siege mode for this, and we're going to start approaching. The reason why we're doing this is because we are going to have some ships that are going to be trying to come in at us. They are still sitting at 128 km away. That's fine. Which ones are going to be approaching us? This guy. So he's the one that we want to kill. Alright, we're going to drop into siege mode. And he should just disappear. It's too good. It's just way too good. Goodbye. So we're 122 km away, remember that. Just popping ships. 127 km away. 6,600 damage. We can activate our tracking computers though. We can hit harder, we can hit better, we can hit faster. Talos? 11,000. Activate both of these again, why not? Another 11,000. We're gonna 3-shot this Talos. That's crazy. Insane. I was gonna say insane, but then I said crazy, so it's in crazy. A new word, I just thought of it. You can use it. You have the rights. I'm just completely taken back by this. Alright, we're gonna drop out of here again, and we're gonna start approaching one more time, because these ships here, they do like to come at me, and I'm just trying to get some range. I just want to see. I want to keep all my range. Block all those guys up. Alright, we're not even going to go into siege mode on this one. We're just going to fire. Dead. Next ship. Dead. Let's see what we do to this Celeste. $7,000. Not bad. We could do better. That was not in siege mode. Now we're going back into siege mode. So sitting at 113 km out from the closest ship in siege mode. And it's blap time. One shot, one kill. It's like boom, headshot, boom, headshot. 116 km? Oh, that was a cruiser. It's gone now. Alright, let's hit this Talos. 119 km. 15,000 points of damage. 10,000 points. We almost 2-shot that Talos. Alright, we have this Thorax at 122 km away. 8,000, not as impressive, but we're starting to get into our 50% damage there as well. Alright, let's drop out of siege, approach. But we're still moving away. We're not moving towards anything yet. Let's start locking up the quick guys. Looks like we have 3 of them. He is the one we're worried about the most because he's the closest. He is now gone. Alright, we can just go into siege mode and lock everybody else up now. let's actually unlock the Brutix. And the reason why I'm unlocking the Brutix there was just in case there was any ships that are further. So disgusting. Let's take a look at this again. If you didn't see my other video, we were sitting at an optimal range of 159 km. 159 km with one of these active. Meaning that I can sit out 159k and do this DPS and just blap blap blap. It is utterly disgusting. 14,000. I mean, I don't know what to say. 12,000 on the Brutix. $15,000. And our hood ornaments are just sitting here doing nothing. And that's it. That's the mission. It's all over. It was able to just utterly destroy everything. And this was a hard mode mission. I went ahead and did that just to kind of show you, because that's what I did with the Apocalypse. This ship is crazy. Crazy insane. Alright, now before we go, let's see if I can show off the warp thing. So we're aligned here. Let's just hit the warp button.
Warp drive active.
And we're warping already. Because we were in siege mode, it got rid of that. So I believe that's one thing they're definitely going to have to fix. You shouldn't be able to be in siege mode aligned and then just insta-warp in a battleship. I don't think that's right. I will definitely have to report that as part of my testing. So yeah, that's it. That's the Apocalypse Striker. I hope you really enjoyed this. Please follow me on Twitter if you enjoy my content. See more of it there, be notified. Also, follow us on the Discord. It's crazy in there. We have a lot of fun. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a happy new year. Alright, bye.